Hey, welcome. It's Brian, and today I wanted to talk about my top 5 Allan Holdsworth recordings, and quite a few of these, in fact, he won't even be the leader on. But when it comes to Allan, I could easily pick another 10, and in no way are these ranked. They are just basically all great. For different reasons, maybe, but I still consider them incredible records. And there's very few great instrumentalists slash guitarists, drummers, and all of that that have that many incredible recordings that are groundbreaking. So we all know, if you know Allan, what an incredible player he was, and just a monumental figure in like instrumental music, whether it was on the prog side or kind of fusion side or whatever you want to call it. Just a super important player. I'm going to start with the first one that I remember hearing, and that would be Bill Bruford's record, Feels Good to Me, which of course featured Bill Bruford, Jeff Berlin, the incredible bass player, and Dave Stewart on keyboards. I believe Jeff Berlin would go on to do road games and maybe tour with Allan a little bit around IOU, that record. I can't remember completely, but I remember, reading Guitar Magazine where I think he had to step in or, did a little bit of touring. And he was an interesting foil for Allan. And we'll kind of progress forward as we talk about this. But so I'll say that record Feels Good to Me. I really liked Bill Bruford's compositions. They were very composition oriented. There's definitely solos in it for sure, but it was this pretty tight thing. And then when you kind of add in some of the elements of like Annette Peacock singing, and you get a pretty eclectic record for sure. So yeah, Bill Bruford Feels Good to Me. Next would be the IOU record. I think that was a really great record simply because I think to me that was the first solo Allan Holdsworth led band record that I bought. Now the Paul Williams part, I can't say I hate it, but I always thought, what is the motivation? I don't know if Allan wrote the words, to be honest. And that part I'd kind of get if he was trying to express something in words that maybe he felt like he couldn't on guitar. But as we know, he's probably one of the, or was one of the most expressive guitar players of all time, as far as I'm concerned. So it's just kind of interesting that he chose to have someone sing. Now, again, when I watched that live in Tokyo, I believe that might have been in '86 or something. Maybe right around then, and Paul Williams sings on quite a bit of it. It's not too bad. And you have Chad Wackerman on drums, and then Jimmy Johnson on bass. Pretty incredible rhythm section, so that kind of equals it out. But yeah, so that would be my next one is IOU. And I think on that record, there's some really great pieces, and I actually have the tab book of that. I think it might have been one of my first tab books I bought, and so that's always kind of fun to see. And anyway, a great record, and I remember him being on the cover right when this record came out, or shortly after, of him holding that Charvel, the white one with the black pickguard, and he had actually an IOU shirt in the color red, which is the color of the album I bought. I think I've seen it in other colors though, like black with gold lettering or something. So anyway, IOU, great record, and one of my favorite Allan Holdsworth records. Next, you're going to see a lot of repeat players in this, and that would be the UK record UK, which of course had Allan, Bill Bruford, John Wetton, and Eddie Jobson playing keyboards and some violin. And I thought that, again, is another record that has its foot in improvisational based kind of fusion, but yet when you have John Wetton and Bill Bruford and Eddie Jobson, they have a lot of like prog kind of pedigree as well. So you get this great thing. And John was a great foil, I think, for Allan as well, although I think an incredible bass player. He wasn't necessarily a super chops theory guy like a Jeff Berlin, but man, what a great record! Everyone would talk about that loves Allan, I would think. So that would be my second one, and I heard that one probably not too long after the Feels Good to Me, the Bill Bruford record. So those kind of mix together to me and are really important records for kind of some of the same reasons. Although UK, I believe that one came out in 76, I believe, and I think Feels Good to Me came out in maybe 78, something like that. I could have those wrong, but I think they're a little bit apart. And I think right after King Crimson kind of broke up, that's when UK started. And then Bill did his own thing for a few records. Next would be Bundles by the band Soft Machine, which is another band to me that kind of straddles that progressive rock, jazz rock territory. Tons of records. And I have to say, the record they did it with Allan was really great. And I believe there might have been two, but Bundles is the one I'll point out that I think I really like that early Allan playing because it's a little more simplistic. The solos are a little more rock oriented. I mean, and kind of an energy, I think. They're not as angular, but chops oriented still, and just really, really cool. I could easily also mention Tony Williams and the record Believe It, which I think I probably and essentially like more than Bundles, but I was trying to kind of mix things up a little bit. And yeah, when I heard Believe It, I really loved Allan's playing on that. And Bundles, to me, they're a little bit like in the same ballpark, a little bit as far as how Allan's playing. So I really, really, really enjoy that. But one of the last records I really bought and would be Secrets, which came out in '89. And that is one that stands up to this day to me. Vinny Colaiuta playing on the record. His guitar tone's incredible. The pieces are great. They're maybe a little more succinct than maybe stuff than on Metal Fatigue and then Octavictron or whatever. So I just have always loved Secrets. And then there's the next one, the Wardenclyffe Tower. I bought that. That probably has some good stuff on it. I need to revisit some of these, to be honest. And then I think the last one I bought was None Too Soon. Now, I've definitely kept up with his career till unfortunately he passed away, but I wasn't actively listening to it like I had before. So there's a lot of important records that he was on. And like I said, I wanted to say five, and I did mention Believe It by Tony Williams, and that definitely fits in there as well. Those are kind of my top five favorites at the moment, and that would be Secrets, Soft Machine's Bundle, UK record, his record IOU, and of course Bill Bruford Feels Good to Me. What are your top five? I'd love to hear what you thought. I am Brian. Those are my top five Allan Holdsworth recordings. See you soon.